Hi, welcome back. This is Mrs. Rhea, your grade 9 maths teacher, back again with our lesson. In our last segment, we looked at simplifying ratios. Okay, now we are going to go into using ratios to find quantities. Okay, let's start with the first example. We are still on ratios. Okay, we have an example here. Peter and John are given some money to share in the ratio 7:5. Now, Peter gets 45 kina, and we want to know how much John gets. So we have John is to Peter, who are given money which they share in a ratio 7:5. Now, Peter gets 45 kina. We do not know how much John gets. Now, what we do, because we can express this as a fraction, as we have learned earlier, 7:5 can be expressed as a fraction as 7/5 is equal to x over 45. Because this is ratio, we can cross multiply and use proportionality to find the unknown. 5 times x is 5x, which is equal to 7 times 45. Now, 5x is equal to 7 times 5 is 35. Put on 5, carry 3. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 3 is 31. So we have 5x is equal to 315. Now we would like to find what x is. To find out x, we have to divide both sides of the equation by 5. So we have 5x over 5 is equals to 315 over 5. This cancels out. So our x is equal to 315 divided by 5. Okay, I'll put this one here. 31 divided by 5 is 6. We have remainder of 1. That makes this 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Therefore, John gets 63 kina out of that money that has been given to them. Okay. Let's go to our next example. Now, Kevin and Paul's weight are in a ratio of 5:4. Paul weighs 70 kilograms. We want to find out how much Kevin weighs. So we have Kevin is to Paul in a ratio of 5:4. And Paul weighs 70 kilograms. We do not know how much Kevin weighs. Again, we cross multiply and express this as a fraction. 5:4 as a fraction is 5/4. Which is equal to x is to 70 is x over 70. Then we cross multiply. Okay, so we have 4 times x is equal to 5 times 70. Now we have 4x is equal to 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 7 is 35. So 4x is equal to 350. Now, we want to find out what x is. We divide both sides of the equation by 4. So we have 4x is equal to 350 over 4. Again, we divide this by 4. This 4 into 4 cancels out. So x is equal to 350 divided by 4. I'll just put it somewhere here. Okay, 35 divided by 4 is 8. 8 times 4, 32. We subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 divided by 4 cannot, so bring down 0 and we make it 30. 30 divided by 4 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract. 30 minus 28 is 2. 2 divided by 4 cannot, so we add 0 here since there is no digit, and we bring down 0 here to make it 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. We must always make sure that we put a decimal point there before we bring down 0. Now, 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. When we subtract, this cancels out. Therefore, x is equal to 87.5. So, Kevin weighs 87.5 kilograms and Paul weighs 70 kilograms. So we can see that Kevin's weight is more than Paul's weight. Now, we have the last example on how to divide a quantity into a ratio. Okay, let's look at a mixture of fuel, which consists of 6:1 of petrol and oil. So we have a mixture of fuel which consists of petrol and oil in a ratio 6:1. Now we want to find out the fraction of petrol. So we know that 6:1 is equal to 6 plus 1, which gives us 7 equal parts. So the fraction of petrol is equal to 6/7, while the fraction of oil is equal to 1/7. Now, we would like to find out how much of 14 liters of petrol would be made up of, how much 14 liters of fuel would be made up of petrol, and how much of that would be made up of oil. So for petrol, we have 14 liters of fuel. Okay, petrol is equal to 6/7 times 14 on 1. Okay, 7 into 7 is 1, 14 into 7 is 2. 6 times 2 is equals to 12. So we have 12 liters of petrol. How much of that is oil? Okay, we know from our fraction, oil makes up 1/7 fractions of the mixture. So we multiply that by 14. 7 into 7 is 1. 14 into 7 is 2. 2 times 1 is equals to 2. So from this, we can see that 2 liters of the mixture is oil. Now, that brings us to the end of our lesson. We'll see you again in our next lesson, and in our next lesson we will look at proportions. Thank you.